2 years, Jocko Fuel has been the only supplement I've consumed. It's helped me stay in shape now that my competitive career is finished. If you've been waiting to try Jocko, the wait is over. Jocko has now teamed with Walmart, bringing clean fuel to the entire nation. Jocko Fuel is loaded with all the good stuff and none of the bad. And I'm talking no added sugars, no artificial sweeteners, and absolutely no gray area or banned substances. Just pure, clean fuel to power your performances. Jocko Fuel is now available in Walmart nationwide. Products available at your local Walmart are Jocko Malt, ready to drink, Jocko Malt Powder, and Jocko Pre-Workout. How convenient. Guys, the time is now. Consider trying some of my favorites like Jocko Go and Jocko Hydrate. You can even do it online. Use code Chael30 at JockoFuel.com or just stop by your local Walmart and get your hands on some Jocko ASAP. Don't wait, might not last. Fuel up with Jocko Fuel and crush your goals. Now there's no excuse for not having clean fuel. Guys, I want you to go get Jocko Fuel today at Walmart. How do you feel? How do you feel about Whittaker Chimaev? Because I do not feel the way you would normally feel when a legend, an older legend, which is what Whittaker is. I mean, you got to really understand, Robert Whittaker is the biggest lock for the UFC Hall of Fame that they have under contract. And I know there's a number of guys that are going to go in. Nobody is as assured as Robert Whittaker. So then when you have a younger guy and you have the new guy come along and prove he's the contender, it's an exciting thing. You start looking forward to the title fight. You start having arguments about, well, should it be Strickland Duplessis or should it be Chimaev Duplessis? And then you bring in Strickland. You have these type of talks. Guys, I'm walking as I talk to you because the lighting is very weird. I'm trying to get you less weird lighting. I'm actually in a really cool spot. Oh, maybe I'll stop right here. Okay. But I don't feel that way. In fact, I was in a room full of people. There must have been 30 people in the room. And none of us felt that way. None of it was this screaming celebration. And look at our number one contender. And look at the domination. And it wasn't like that. It was, did you feel bad for Whittaker? Did you feel shorted as a fan? You wanted more. You want to see some more moments. Maybe Chimaev and Whittaker exchanging some blows. A big talk coming into this was that Chimaev could not hold up should we get to championship rounds. I wasn't part of that. Chimaev being exhausted against Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman is the first welterweight and one of the few fighters ever to weaponize pace to the degree that George St. Pierre did, where it's simply something so high you just can't keep up. So for Chimaev, even if it was a 15-minute fight, and even if he was exhausted, I would understand being exhausted, trying to stay a step ahead of Kamaru Usman, who nobody else has been able to do. I mean, I'm just sharing with you, I was never really on board with this Chimaev can't push for 5 rounds. But that shot that Chimaev's doing is interesting. He's a little bit out of range. I mean, the rule, you got to be a little bit closer. Now, the trade-off for shooting a sloppy shot from out of range is you're going to be lower on the guy's legs, and that simply does not work. I mean, trust me as a wrestler, there's a massive trick that can take you years to learn, but I'm going to hand it to you right now because it's very relevant. But if you're ever trying to wrestle in MMA, where do you attack? The fabric. You attack the fabric. If a guy has shorts on, that's what you have to attack. If a guy is silly enough to tape his ankles, well, now his ankles are in play. If a guy is foolish enough to wear knee pads, now his knee pads are in play. But you will never take a guy down if you do not have your hands on fabric. In fact, if you ever show up to wrestling practice and you're overmatched, the guy that shows up that day, you and another guy, and this guy's really good, and you're not, tell me you forgot your shoes. Go out there on the wrestling mat with no wrestling shoes on. He will not score very many takedowns. You can't score on a guy, you can't control a guy unless you're grabbing something dry, which is the fabric. And I bring that to you. I bring that great detail to you because Chimaev, while shooting from further back, put him lower on the legs. But he did it twice. 2 different times, he broke this rule. And he ended up on an ankle where he didn't have fabric. And in theory, and in every other fight that you've ever seen, you would slip right off. Now, Chimaev got away with it. One, I'm wondering, does he have a technique? Did he have a way of gripping it? Was there something there that I haven't seen without review, what I believe happened is he just got a hold of it early. He got a hold of it in the first 10 seconds. It didn't have time to get a little bit of a sweat going yet. It was an interesting position. And then the finish itself, what are we calling that, guys? That was a submission. That was not a tap out due to rear naked choke, to quote the great Bruce Buffer. That was pain. That was pain. And I heard John Anik say that he had overheard Whitaker tell his corner after the fight that his jaw was dislocated. That could be. Whitaker was such a stud about it. He didn't offer an excuse that the rest of us saw. He wasn't holding his jaw. He stood up. He kept his held his head high, let Chimaev have his moment. What do you want to do now? What do you want to do now? I understand, or thought I understood, that Sean Strickland has du Plessis next. I believe that was official, but I'm told it's not. I'm told it was talked about, it's planned, but it is not signed, it is not official, and now we're going to have a great debate of should it go to Chimaev. And the answer to that, quite frankly, is no. No, it should not. That is Sean Strickland's fight. Chimaev has shown that he's next. I believe Chimaev's next fight will be for the title. Chimaev's last fight was in October of last year, so do the math. I mean, look at the size of breaks that he takes in between fights. You have plenty of time to do the Strickland, du Plessis, let them sort business out, bring Chimaev in. That's my argument. But I know there's going to be an argument. There's a comment section down below. Let me hear what you think.